Good evening, selamat petang. I think actually in Malaysia is selamat sangat awal pagi, a very good morning to you in Malaysia. Those here in Europe, good evening after your dinner and after drinks. Maybe y'all are now having drinks, but with me here online, I'm very tired today. So let me kind of just wind myself up. So welcome to another stream with me, your auntie, Dr. Krista Lau. And as usual, I am here online to do work stuff. That's why, again, the title for just right now is still live admin session and a chatter, because yalah, continue lah to just be another tiring week. It will be like this until next week comes along, for good reason. All my fellow ladies, you know why, and for the fellow guys, it's part of the monthly cycle for us girls and women, okay? Part of that, okay? So just wanted to actually act on some of the things that I have been listening to and learning about streaming these past few streams. I've kind of been learning on the go, and I just want to continue that today, put a little bit more thought to it, kind of review what I've been testing out this past week, really, and yeah, give it a shot. Actually, what I'm going to do today as well is try to record with OBS, but I have not much of an idea kind of what to do with that at the moment. But we will see lah, so anyways, it's worth just learning on the go as usual. We do just need to I don't know, we'll figure it out. So I'm gonna okay, I just started recording on my OBS as well, so we will see what happens with all that stuff. Okay, so before I kind of get started with all the work things and all that good stuff, how are you all doing this lovely Wednesday? It is midweek, and I don't know, it depends how you're feeling. Maybe it's been a great week so far. Any wins or any so-called failures for some of you, or just feeling really down in the dumps because life is life, right? And feel free to pop that into the chat. Feel free to talk about it if you want to, complain about it if you want to, celebrate if you want to, or do both at once. Excuse me, it's allergy season now, springtime. So what that means is I have all of my sinuses get plugged up with pollen, and it hurts, and I'm tired, and such is life. So yalla, I'm just trying to do my day to day, get the ball rolling here. So of course, as usual, I'm gonna put me up in my little office again in the collective space. Excuse me, hope y'all don't find it too annoying. Alrighty, let's go to my office. Open the doors first, and I'm going to go sit in my chair, my lovely plush lush chair. So let's see, what am I going to do tonight? Excuse me. Actually, we did talk about it. So right now I'm just going to review, measure, and okay. So I've been doing this thing, okay, where I am kind of approaching a lot of my work and life and things through this main quest, side quest kind of method. And I learned that from one of the YouTube videos about how to encourage and motivate the ADHD brain. So I really like that. And I really like that because it really appeals to my so-called retired gamer side. And I used to play, of course, a lot of Sims, but also a lot of RPGs. Excuse me. Played a lot of Diablo back then. Never really played. I think I did play Diablo 3 for a little bit when it first came out. But then that was during, I think, medical school and all that stuff. So didn't bother playing after that. And then I remember playing a lot of Neverwinter Nights. I kind of really missed that game. It was pretty cool. But I remember my computer, the specs weren't so great. So it was very laggy at one point because I'm a chicken... I don't want to say it bad, but I'm chicken shit when it comes to playing games. Okay, a few of my friends from back when can attest to you on that. I used to be screaming at them on the phone when I was playing games because I was so afraid. I still remember I was going to go and kill the butcher in Diablo 1, and then there was Andariel as well, and I would not let my friend off the phone because back then we didn't have the LAN networks and stuff yet. Internet was still coming up. Like, I'm actually not that old, but that just shows you how young the internet is, you know, and our technology. Yeah? So I would not let her off the phone, and I would just be screaming in her ear because I had to go kill the monster and I didn't do it by myself. It was ridiculous, but it was so fun. And so, yeah, you know, I played a lot of Fable. I really like Fable. That was fun. So the first one, I didn't play Fable 2 when it came out. You know, I missed out on so much games, and I feel like med school really... I mean, it's led me here, of course, to where I am with certain things and certain privileges, 100%. But at the same time, it took away a lot. And of course, you know, we can say that, oh, you are a grown-up lah, right? You make your choices, all that. But really though, did I? Like in yesterday's stream, I was saying that in med school, especially for most of us in, you know, Asia, you are still an adolescent when you are put in that pathway. So the stereotype is true. Huh? There are a lot of Asian parents who kind of set the kids up in that pathway. And so when you think about it, like, did I really have a choice? And it's not like I was allowed to grow confidence in myself, you know, as an adolescent, as a teenager, to just, you know, kind of say to my parents, like, no, I don't want to do medical school. I can just go off and do my own things. You know, it doesn't really work like that, you know. And a lot of things I can tell you, definitely since this past year, easier said than done. So those of you, next time, you nak buka mulut, kasih advice kat orang, you pause sekejap, and guna otak sikit, because it is really a lot easier to open your mouth and say stuff to people than it is to take a walk in their shoes. Not even take a walk in their shoes, but when it's your turn to come face to face with that same issue that the other person is facing, you cannot guarantee that you will do as you say. I can tell you that from experience, 100%. Okay, it's a lot easier to walk. It's a lot easier to talk than to walk the talk. Okay, so now that unsolicited advice is out of the way, just so you know, my kid's fake Tamagotchi is like gonna beat once in a while, and this thing has pooped. The other one seems to be asleep now, so great. But let me just clean this thing's poop. So we got this knockoff stuff at one of the shops, so it's kind of okay lah. Oops. So right now I need to. Okay, ta-da! Happy already. Oh, now it's sick. Okay, so just gonna go in. What's happening here? Good job. Oh, you can see. Happy again. Okay, I can't remember which animal my kid picked. Oh, it's a penguin. Okay, so I hope this penguin does not bother me tonight. And we'll see. So the other one is asleep already. This one should go to sleep soon. But if not, that means that she messed up, like messing around with the time. And yeah, anyway. Okay, so let's see, what shall I do today? I said to review my main quest and side quest. So I do have to say it's very important that you do that. You should really take time to review what your main quests are and what your side quests are, and especially those of you with ADHD and that neurodivergent brain, or really lah, don't care lah, you neurodivergent or not lah, okay? You have a brain, you're a human, this could work for you, especially if you're bored or the regular things don't seem to be, you know, I don't know, appealing to you or whatnot. Why does her penguin look like it got massive? I don't know. I want to get them like a real Tamagotchi because I had one when I was growing up. It was so cute. So we'll see. You know, I think approaching things with your main quest and side quests is very important, at least in some variation of you seeing things that way. Because you know, like my therapist says, you want to achieve that thing and it's something you really desire, yeah? So how are you going to get there? And when challenges and other life events and maybe trauma, something pops up along the way, are you going to move that milestone, right? And reset the things? Or are you going to just continue on, just kind of have to take a detour or a different pathway, yeah? And I liked how he said that because I didn't realize this for the longest time until obviously in that therapy session. And he told me that it seemed just from the things I was talking and telling him that I had moved my kind of North Star. Like I had continuously readjusted it based on what I felt, at least, the important people in my life over this past, you know, well, 37 years of my life at least. I kind of adjusted my own North Star or that desirable end game, right? Whatever it is, based on those people I had deemed important in my life, rather than kind of saying that, no, you know, this is still what I want to do, and you know, either I'll get there or we'll get there. So that was a very interesting thing that he said. And so that's why, you know, I already do a lot of self-reflection in a lot of things, probably too much, but whatever. But at least in the context of, to me now, thinking about that main quest, because I am obviously the main character in my story. So are you in your story, and I am maybe that NPC that you encounter Auntie Dr. Crystal Lau in her, I don't know, if I was in like an old-timey kind of fantasy RPG game, I would definitely be a sorceress or a witch of some sort, one of those kind, but not the type that's hiding in the woods. I would be like, have my own dominion, and I would absolutely have like my apothecary or library or whatever it is. It'll be something that you know is there, but it's not so rah-rah. But if people don't know about that place or my powers, then they would fear me. That's at least what I think of my RPG character lah, okay? So do what you will with that. But yeah, I like to, so just review the main quest, and this has been really helpful for the past 3 3 months ish, because I did speak to a friend and I asked her, I said, would you be crazy enough to join me on one of, in my main quest? And she says, why not? And I felt like this has helped so much, because it feels like an almost impossible main quest, and I'll tell you all about it sometime later, whenever I'm ready for that. But it feels good to have someone who doesn't think it's crazy, and is willing to actually give it a go with me. And I hope you all find your, questing fellowship, right? Because it's not even just a partner, but really it's a fellowship. And yeah, I did read Lord of the Rings and then watch the movies, but I'm not like a massive Tolkien fan or anything. It was good to have a variety of, fantasy, because I first started reading Harry Potter when it came out. So it was good to read like the Tolkien type of writing, of course. And what has helped this past 3 months was having my sights on this main quest. When things come up here and there, people asking like, oh, would you do this, or would you volunteer for this? Volunteering. To a certain degree. Oh my gosh, I'll rant about that maybe later tonight or on another stream. Yes, I am still volunteering for some things now. But anyways, I did win something for volunteering there. So do what you will with that. But yes, it helps when you have your sights set on your main quest, and then when things come around, you ask yourself, is this side quest going to contribute to how I get to my main quest? Is this going to add to my fellowship? Is this going to upskill me? Is this going to give me, experience points that really matter? Or is this going to be a distraction? Yeah. And I found that so helpful to think about it that way. Yeah. To the point that, that's why I do a bunch of reviews now. And I say review my main quests and side quests. Yeah. And I would love to actually hear from you all. Like, what is your main quest? And it really doesn't have to be like something major and far away. It could be like, I don't want to find a stable job, depending on where you are in your life stage right now. Maybe some of you are really young, just starting out. Maybe some of y'all are bored with your first career, you want to pivot to a second one, or maybe y'all going through something really difficult right now and you're just like, what the shit, so many reasons. And it's okay to also have different sizes of main quests, because once you achieve that, you can move to the next chapter, and there's another main quest in that chapter, right? That's why your games, you have multiple parts and series, yeah? So have a think about that, and kind of, oh my god, well, that just gave me a freaking idea. Business idea. So I want to tell you about it. I don't think so. I won't tell you about it. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to talk to my artist friend, Sandra. So I do want to talk about Sandra a little bit more, because she is visiting me, and I'm distracted now because I need to write this idea down somewhere. Where are my little sticky notes? Not sticky notes, my little things. Okay, all right, I got this thing here. Okay, so let's see. I want to talk to Sandra about my idea, because she's an artist from Malaysia as well, living here in France, and we know we're going to work together on developing some merch and things related to her work, related to my work. So that would be something very exciting, but it's going very slow because, of course, I have my own stuff that I'm doing, and she has, of course, all her artist work. She's doing a lot of digital artwork right now, and hopefully down the road, I want to also be involved with her when she wants to start making her own animations and things. That'll be so cool, so cool. Like, I just don't have that kind of creativity at all. So it really amazes me when I see someone and I see her work, and I'm just like, how does that even come out from your head, from your hands? Like, how does that work? I don't know. But perhaps it's with music as well, But anyways, so I want to tell her this idea, but I will tell you it will be kind of like a journal type, whether it's it could be a book bound type of journal or a loose leaf kind of journal, and kind of taking the taking a leaf out of the Dungeons and Dragons kind of game master and character stuff. So nothing new, but maybe some of y'all might be already hazarding a guess of where I'm going with that. Yeah. So I'm going to do like that. Okay. And yeah, I think this will be so fun. Okay. Business, or rather merchandise idea. There you go. So actually, those of y'all showing up, you absolutely can come here, use this as a session to, I don't know, hear me just mouth off stuff. And I will be a nosy auntie to get all up in your business, of course. And anyway, this is like a public kind of live stream, and then I throw this stuff on YouTube. So of course, if you don't want other people to know, you don't come tell me stuff here, okay? I mean, use this a little bit, okay? Don't just come tell the whole world that somebody takes your idea, runs with it, and then you come crying like, oh wow, show up on her live stream, and then and I'm like, this is literally a live stream, like, for free. Yeah, everyone who hears this, listens to this or whatever, they can do whatever they want with this information, okay? So yeah, use your brain a bit. So that's why, if any of y'all interested, more like, I really want to talk to Auntie Dr. Crystal Lau, right? You can send me a message, of course, and eventually I will have membership tiers that we are going to do like private sessions and stuff. Or right now, if some people really, you all are the do-its, you have money, you really want my time, absolutely, that is also possible. But I can tell you, my time does not come cheap. Sure, I am here showing up on a live stream and all, but this is my stuff, my work meaning part of growing business, getting content out there, marketing, blah blah blah, and of course still being myself, because you still want to have fun. You're still running your own business, you need to do things that as best as possible to have fun. That's why I kind of stopped a lot of the social media short forms. I'm going to try again though, but a bit differently, and I'm going to leverage a bunch of live stream things. Okay, so that being said, yeah, if you want my time, it's gonna come with a lot. You can afford it, you're welcome. Again, please contact me, message me, whatever, through all of my links. I have my email contact as well, so you know where to find me. Okay, yes, absolutely. One thing I love about embracing this auntie persona is I'm actually getting braver and a lot more shameless with selling. Maybe that's the trick. Yeah, maybe that's the trick. So next time, another business idea. This one I'll happy to tell y'all, because it's just a funny idea. No idea if it's even gonna work. But if you think it's gonna work, you can take the idea and run with it. I might have a retreat on how to tap into your inner auntie. Because yeah, when you think about each family, each culture, there is a specific type of auntie in your mind that you're like, I really admire her, want to be like her, in the sense that this auntie is a great role model, so you want to tap into that aura, then you can embody it, and then you can become it, right? Your vision, of course lah. I'm all about that now, becoming your vision and stuff. Sorry, muted myself because I'm yawning and all that. Anywho, okay, let's review main quest, side quests. I did have some questions from a couple of folks today related to work. Okay, my chair squeaking is really annoying me. I'm gonna have to go fix that stuff. Okay, I have some pieces of thing. Look at this 2026 content strategy. Not shy to show y'all. Okay, see? Oops, it's not going there. I don't even remember when I wrote this out. I should probably date the thing. Oh my god, I love journals. I got this off like one of the cheap discount stores here, and it's just so simple. It's just like oops. Can't show y'all everything in it. It just comes in like this, and it's got a blank page across, so it's kind of helpful because then like each person in the family can have like my finger. Yeah, they can have like their name and then their week, blah blah blah. But also boring, and I find this doesn't really serve me. But hey, it was cheap, and I love stationery, I tell you. That's why hopefully in the future I really want to go to Japan. Of course, the food, Hello Kitty world, of course. I did grow up liking Karo Pea a lot. I had a Karo Pea lunchbox. I think it's still my mom's place till today, and it's just stuffed full with birthday cards that and whatever the cards that my mom also sends when she travels. It's stuffed full of those cards. Yeah, and I think it's kind of broken, but I just could never let it go. So I loved it so much. So I do want to go there, of course, try and see if I can take my kids along, but probably something better to do when they're a lot older, because then they can appreciate it better, and also food, traveling, stamina, energy, all those things. So we'll see, but I really want to go to Japan to do that, and I want to make sure I have enough money to go there, because I want to go crazy in the stationery shops. Like, oh my god. I think it's gonna be wild, and I will go wild. Like, I know there are a lot of big malls, like wholesalers, like China has got a lot. I've been to some of those. Thailand also has those. Been to some of those before, but not recently though, like in the past 10 years, no. So it's probably due to go check things out again eventually. It would be nice again, of course, to bring my kids so I can get them. I can indulge my inner child along with my children, and I think that's one of the super fun things today. So I have to say there is some privilege in terms of how I'm able to behave around my kids, because of what my mom has kind of expected me to do. So absolutely give her props for that, 100%. At the same time, not everything is peachy. We also have to acknowledge that. And that's one thing I feel the older generation, as well as a lot of you out there today, don't care your age, are young, middle age, old, whatever, okay? You all, and at one point myself, but not anymore, definitely not anymore, you all have this tendency to just think that only one truth or one emotion can exist at any one time. You are not a robot, okay? Even AI can fake having more than one emotions, all right, and feelings or whatever. You are a human being, You have more than one feeling, going on or colliding with each other. And there's always more than one truth to your life happening right now. And for a lot of us Asian kids, two can be true. Yes, our parents love us, but at the same time, they were horrible parents. Yes, they gave us all the things we needed today. They put the roof over our head, they gave us education, they gave us like the best education, whatever. But at the same time, we were emotionally neglected, right? And those two things can absolutely exist at the same time. So don't gaslight yourself into like, oh, but oh, they did the best. Oh, da da da. Yes, also correct. They perhaps did their best, but at the same time, there was neglect. Okay? Which means in today's definition for what we understand about child development and adverse childhood events, that also means that you don't need to experience full-on abuse. What I mean by abuse is like the typical definition of abuse, which is seeing someone get hit, killed, right? Or full-on violence, or have SA happen to you, or seeing that happen to someone, or know that happened to someone. Like, it's not just that can cause an adverse childhood event. Okay, so we know more about that today, which means that those of you adult children with me here today, if you find that there is something in your childhood that just didn't quite sit right with you, you're probably right. Again, 2 truths or more can happen and occur in one sitting, in one reality, okay? Just as much as you can feel both happy and angry and frustrated at the same freaking time, honestly, okay? So anyway, that was a whole rant, but essentially what I was trying to get across with that is, I am basically very glad I'm able to, give the things that I want to give to my kids. And I also recognize how I'm able to do that. And at the same time, I want to indulge a lot of the inner child things for me, while I raise my kids. And that's the thing. And I know a lot of you feel the same way too. Okay. So that's why there are a lot of these, millennial parents and all who just, we're just doing all the so-called fun stuff with kids. But, definition of fun also is different for everybody. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, let's get back to it. Let me review my main quest. So I need to go, where is my list? So this is the problem with me, and this is definitely an ADHD problem. Like, sure, I know that there are, neurotypicals who have issues with organizing stuff as well, but I will tell you the kind of disorganization that I face all the time is a bit ridiculous. And I write stuff down and I'm like, yeah, this paper is important, and then it just disappears, like right now. But at least I have it in my head, I suppose. Okay. So anyways, I'm just gonna do some scribbling and writing, and I'm definitely not gonna show you everything because it is personal still. So I encourage you to do that, for yourself right now. And I'm just gonna turn on CJU in the background. I was watching this halfway. Yeah. No. Come on, Kumo Space. Oh, and of course, before I forget, those of you who like the idea of what I'm messing around here, having your own virtual office space, or if you just want to, even if you're just working by yourself and you want to have cute little like videos or things, of course, if you have those simulator games, you just do it there. That's cute. But this is like if you're having a group of friends and all, you can get a free my brain. Sorry, tail face. I'm still feeling sluggish, and we did a lot of exercise today, a lot of activities today, so I'm tired. What's that I'm saying? Yes, so Kumo Space still has a free tier. You get to have just one floor of all this cool stuff. You can't record though, but you can meet up, and you can do like an OBS recording, of course, or just whatever browser recording that you use. That's perfectly fine. But if you want to record your meetings for clients or people, then that's a different story. You need to pay like a Zoom kind of thing. Yeah, but anyways, otherwise you can go mess around. But if any of you want to purchase it, then I have a promo code. that you can use. So that is yeah. I'm so tired. Okay, so if you get this, you get 10% off an annual plan, and of course that also helps to support my channel a little bit lah. Okay. Okay. So thank you terima kasih. Pergi beli. Go. Okay, thank you. Go buy. Go use the 10%. Okay. Anyways, now that's done. So I'm gonna turn this on for me. Okay. What is this? Where did I watch halfway? I think it was. No, it was here. Okay, yes, I did watch until here. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and then I will chit chat back with you guys. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself. Actually, yeah. I'm going to go and oh. You see, I cannot I tell you. This is really just the auntiness of all this thing. That's why also it's helpful for me to claim the auntie a bit, because you tengok ni. I see. Hai, Poyo is memang Poyo. Paria is memang Paria. I also don't understand. Okay. Anyways. Okay. So like I need to apa ni? Okay. Okay. Okay lah, like this lah. Okay. Lama. Okay lah, like this lah, huh? So you're all big kids. You all know what to do, right? Okay, you all no need to be babysat, or maybe you do. That's why you're here, to get babysitting from me. Yeah, don't expect that too much. You're already all big kids, know what to do for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna shut my mic off, work on my main quest and side quest. Y'all have some music. You just ping me when you need me, okay? So ridiculous. Ugh. Ay. Look, poopy time. Yeah, I think my kid didn't set her timer, so it's oh, happy. Okay. But it's not super happy because in the corner there's no. So maybe let's give it some computer time. Get some gold. So funny. Ay. Yeah, it's really like a Tamagotchi, but it doesn't have the same it's just the animal. It doesn't grow nothing, you know. Anywho, all right, back to working, okay? One thing I do have to say is when you are reviewing your main quest, side quest, and you really want to break down to what is available in your day, like you really need to block things out. So I'll just show y'all a little bit, but not everything, of course, because duh, it's personal. So like here I have like 4 segments. Okay, so hours that the kids need, of course, and then I have I call this obligation hours, like stuff you just absolutely can't avoid. So things like, of course, learning French and work, other important appointments, things that you feel are priority, or call it actually priority hours, not obligation hours. Maybe it sounds better that way. And then I have business hours and items, and then I have daily life and well-being. So you'll find that you really don't have much time in the day, honestly. Okay, but that means you're forced to get creative. So that's why for me, I decided to do all these streaming things and just show up on YouTube to do that, do a walking podcast, because that's all I got, and if that's all I got, then I can, of course, complain about it, and I do complain about it, which is why it comes across to many people who are like, wow, how come you can handle things so good, you're so strong, da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, okay, but okay, this thing is annoying me now. But I also complain a lot to my good friends, and unfortunately in the past there were certain people that were important to me and whom I thought was a safe place for me to complain to absolutely was not a safe place. And then of course they say, oh, Crystal, maybe you're just too much, maybe you just complain too much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I used to believe that. I was the only problem in a lot of things. But therapy has helped me to see that's not the case. And I have found a bunch of, folks who, at least like the past couple of years of knowing them knowing me, and me leaning on them at my like worst times, have not told me that I'm a problem. So it really puts into perspective about the people I surrounded myself with in the past and the people I'm surrounding myself with right now. And then recognizing that other people I meet, whether they belong with the same vibes as the people in the past or the ones now who are, bringing me so much more peace. So yeah, life lessons, you learn a lot. So yeah, just wanted to say that it's always worth, when you review your main quests, you do need to take into account how much hours you can have in the day that, helps you to get to your main quest. Okay. And sometimes, I think it's also quite a skill to do planning and strategizing for your own personal life. And I think that's where, honestly, I'm of course biased. I support playing games because I used to play a lot of games as a kid. At the end of the day, it honestly is like this. If you can really strategize how you're going to take out that boss and how you're going to choose to level up for whatever character and class that you're playing, okay? You absolutely can do that for your own personal real life. Okay? This is what we call transferable skills. So you don't be a fai cai, okay? You don't be such a useless piece of crap, honestly. Yeah, sounds harsh, right? You want auntie treatment, you get auntie treatment, okay? Don't be so fai and just be like, oh, I can't do it, I don't know how to do it. But you play games, right? Especially those you play games. You play games, you figure it out. Means you are using your brain. So just change gear lah and use it for your own personal life to strategize your career path, whatever that may be. I really don't care. Again, I'm not your parent, I'm your auntie. So I will give you back to your parents once you're done hanging out with me here. Okay? And which means I can make you cry and then you go back to your parents and they have to wipe the tears. Okay? Anyway, jokes aside, what am I joking? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll let you all decide that for me. Yeah, you have these skills. So that's why, you look at your main quest, you strategize how you're going to get there, and then other side quests along the way. Is it worth your time? Because you only have so many hours in the day. And you please, as this one is hard for me to walk the talk, okay? And like easier said than done. Sleep is one of the most important things. If you just think about what the body really needs before it absolutely just goes crazy and you just die, essentially. Sleep is one of them. Okay, try going without sleep for a couple of days. I mean, I suggest you don't, but you try even just 24 hours without sleep. You see how delirious and crazy you get, and try more. And can you imagine back, even right now, you have still medical doctors, nurses, and other clinicians in the hospitals, first responders who are working this kind of hours, and we are supposed to be functioning just like this to save your life, which is why I get pissed off when, sure, I can shit on my fellow physicians. It's one of those things that you can shit on your own people, but when other people shit on your people, then you tell them to like go fly a kite lah, okay? So that's why I get pissed off when people who have no idea what physicians and other clinicians have to go through start yapping and bitching about how, oh, they're not doing a great job, oh yes, they're not doing preventative care, blah blah blah. I agree, but at the same time, you have no idea how annoying, I'm not even going to say how hard, how annoying it is to be pushing against a system that doesn't, number one, protect you as a provider, okay, especially physicians. It's quite well known around the world, all these physician groups and associations are bullshit. They have no interest in protecting the doctors. If anything, they'll throw you under the bus first. Okay, the nurses, however, they organize amazingly, something we need to learn from them. But perhaps also because nurses are majority women and they give a fuck about each other because women care. Just saying, okay? But yeah, you're fighting against a system that doesn't protect you or support you. You're fighting against freaking clinical guidelines that are at least a decade old compared to new data. And you're fighting against ego in the system. And there was a jump scare there. Luckily, it didn't get me. So I really detest, people who come and yap. And if this triggers you, you are that person. You heard it from this auntie. If you get triggered and you are that actually front providing clinician who's been through the critical times of having to make a decision or watch someone die or have to participate in one of those codes, and you come around yapping and just of course, please air your displeasure, give constructive feedback, yes, but don't go around pointing fingers and saying that all physicians are useless or bullshit, they're just here for the money, gwah or whatever. There are problems, okay? But also, sometimes you look also in your own industry, okay? Especially sometimes those who come from academia, who yep. I can also say that because I'm also part of academia to a certain extent. I was absolutely in that world before I finished med school, okay? And then I was given advice by some pretty good academicians in my first year of being a doctor who told me to stay the hell away from academia because that has been a cesspool. That advice was from 2014, okay? It's 2026 now, and that hasn't changed yet, that advice. I see it, okay? Anyways, rant done. All I wanted to say is, you need to look at your hours. And you need to decide, okay? And again, as much as I'm ranting, I have to say that part of my obligation hours or priority hours is I need to focus on learning my French to a level that I can then prepare for the French medical licensing exam. Then will then take me to the next step of perhaps finding some training here and then getting the French medical license. That is actually, I would say, that would be a main quest, 100%. Okay, I do think that I have a bigger life, so I have a lifetime main quest. And I have, oh no, I don't have my whiteboard in here. So I have a lifetime main quest, and I have just a life stage, not really life stage, but what is the main quest right now and what is in my lifetime. Lifetime meaning something I want to achieve, I don't know, by the end of my lifetime kind of thing, okay? And I have a couple of those, and I did kind of think about whether maybe I should talk about one of them more here on Twitch, actually, or streaming, whatever. and put like a goal for it, then y'all can help auntie get one of her lifetime dreams or achieve one of her lifetime main quests. Y'all can be the NPCs, and then when I get there, you're gonna be rewarded. I can promise you, those who know me know that I absolutely hold my promise. Okay, so think about it. I will think about how to not reveal. What is the word? I will think about how to bring up that quest a little bit more, because that'll be quite fun actually. Yeah. And then I also just had a look. I think this streaming category, there's also co-working, so maybe I could go there, kind of set things up in a bit in a way that I can just be quiet and do stuff, because just chatting is just chatting. You're expecting chatting as well, which is fine by me, especially if I'm doing like chores and random stuff like that. Then we can just chit chat, that's fine, you know. But then I can also stream for working actually, so that's a good idea. Good idea. See, this is why it's important for me to show up for these events. Like, I'm getting very used to OBS. I just noticed there's a bunch of numbers here that tells me how things are going, which is super. And then I am doing a recording plus the streaming, so my CPU isn't dying, which is fantastic. You know, and my connection could be better. Unfortunately, the area that I'm living in France is actually a city, not a big one like Paris. No, I don't like that either. But I have it's you know, you would expect a city, especially with a university here, that internet would be quite good, but no, my area here still has DSL. Malaysia, when I left home for Australia more than 15 years ago, already had fiber internet, okay? Oh, and some of the people here in Europe still behave like Europe is the best. I mean, yeah. You don't come into my area and start telling me, if you don't like there in Europe, then why don't you go back home, okay? Okay, you all should understand that a lot of the West has for decades, centuries even, have put forth this image that y'all so great, right? So it has been drilled into many generations, at least in Malaysia, or at least for my side, my own, I guess, family and all. It has been passed down that the West is better. So here I am. Okay? And realistically, now that I'm here, earning in a currency that's also bigger than back home, why I want to go back? Why I want to go back? You tell me. Okay? Those of you want to buka mulut, open the mouth, quack, say all this nonsense, please. This type of stuff goes right over my head like that. Okay? You don't grow up in Malaysia without being on the receiving end of sexism, racism, what other isms do we have? All this type of isms, without growing a skin so damn thick you need like a diamond cutter to even make a dent on it. And it's like the type of insult has to be really, really, I don't even know how to say, like, I don't know, the people that have really hurt me and got to me, of course, are the people closest to me. And no offense, you all, nieces, nephews, and strangers. Nieces, nephews is okay. I care for y'all, but you're still going back to your parents. So whatever you come and say to your auntie like that, I can just say to your parents, your kid has a dirty mouth, need to wash with soap. Okay? Please, discipline. That's all. Then strangers is strangers lah. You are stranger things. So itu macam saja, okay? Boleh buka mulut, boleh cakap-cakap macam ni. You can open the mouth, talk. Okay, maybe try to talk more I don't know, useful things that can make you money. Or actually, if you want to book up mulut and talk, and then it brings me money, please come, talk, blah, 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 everything, sure. You know, whatever, to help with one of my lifetime main quests, which is, this is already in my Twitch bio, is I will own a castle someday. Okay? Yes. So please, you want to come, please, you can contribute that way to my lifetime goal. You are welcome. Absolutely. Okay, so now that I have decided that I will separate this to a lifetime main quest and a right now main quest, that means I have decided to do let's see, to do some part of this main quest here online, which is learning French. So what that would mean is, okay, I'm looking at my phone now because I am trying to see what, I don't know, I'm trying to see the categories available here. So you know, anyways, I also don't know lah. Again, auntie is only just learning how to do some things and all of that. Sure, I'm a young auntie, whatever. Okay, now, so this means that I am going to, what shall I do here with you all? So this means learning French. Okay. So I like to do word finding and crosswords. And then I can't, or maybe I can do like a TV5. I don't know. Because you know, copyright and stuff, you always have to think about that. So those of y'all, right? Like if you're thinking, oh my gosh, streaming so easy, you just do like this, you just get money, whatever, I just need to show what I'm doing. No, you need to please check. Okay, please go and check about whether something is copyright, IP, whatever, okay? Excuse me. Because you do need to make sure that things are not so. But I can do, I think what I can do with y'all is learning vocabulary. So that will help a lot. But in terms of stringing words together, I need to say it out a lot. Which I will say, I am happy to practice here and be terrible. You know, that's fine. Because again, the point of doing this is to get things done. It's not for me to just, you know, yeah, sure, all this stuff I can throw on YouTube, okay, to put it as content, because why not? You know, maybe it's just like me watching all these gameplays, and sometimes I just watch other people play random games, just small stuff, and they're chatting. It's just that some people just like that in the background, so why not? You know, I'll just pop and throw it there. So yeah, and the most important thing is for me, I get something done. And this is where I want to remind you all, nieces and nephews, is this. It's okay to center yourself, okay? Sure, we don't do this all the time, okay? I'm a mum. I will center my kids. There are moments you also need to center yourself. I need to center myself. Because if I'm not, like right now, luteal face, if I'm not allowing myself to rest, okay, and have lazy days, and lazy days usually means like I prepare like a simple kind of charcuterie board style dinner or meals for them, or throughout, say, lunch and dinner. So it's just like, okay, I make sure there's some nuts, some fruits, and vegetables, and maybe like some meat or something, or even no meat because I'm too lazy to prepare them and too tired to prepare it. But it's just there, and of course bread lah, because we have like amazing bakeries around our area here, so very easy to get wonderful bread. And then okay lah, they can put jam, butter, sometimes peanut butter. I don't really like to give them too much like all this sweet stuff. Jam is probably my limit. Honey, and at least honey they can get some pollen, and I try to get like the local honey from the local markets like near us, so helps try lah to help with the allergy building resilience or whatever. And I just like that, and I just tell them, Mama's really tired, I really need to rest. And I actually explain to them about the menstrual cycle, and I said, your turn will come when you grow up. 2 girls, and they go, okay. So I want them to be able to see me rest and just take a break and just be okay with just chilling lah when you need to chill. So and that's me centering me during this time. Yeah. But of course, not forgetting what they need. But also, when I prepare them food this way, it's great for me because I'm also eating that stuff. It's healthy stuff, Yeah, so I just want to remind y'all, it's okay to center yourself from time to time, okay? Yeah, so that's why hopefully also y'all come, you listen. Maybe sometimes I'll just randomly go on a auntie bender with unsolicited advice or storytelling, and then maybe that resonates with you. Then maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't, maybe it pisses you off, maybe it makes you cry. I don't know. I'm gonna hug, okay, maybe. We'll see. Virtual hugs, there you go. So it's okay lah. Then this just goes on YouTube for whoever needs it is there, And if this helps someone doing work and to have some deconstructing of your childhood like crap, by all means. Maybe some people, this is your version of therapy. I don't know. Maybe it works, okay? Again, like I said, I might be a medical doctor, but I'm not your doctor, okay? That always has to stand. It's just that, this is where it's nice lah. You have, your online auntie me who happens to be a doctor or whatever, and, not giving you medical advice, but at least I can point you in certain directions. That's one thing I really value about my medical background, is that at the very least, I know who to get help from. And if people come to me and they're actually like legit wanting actually some kind of medical information, I said, I really can't help you or afford like to give you proper advice, because I'm not your doctor. I say, but I can tell you who to see and what to ask, essentially. And that in itself is already very valuable, because that's advocating for your own health. Yeah. So anyways, that is something the best I can do for you, is kind of explain to you this is how things work in that medical world. So if you're looking for a certain kind of help, then you might need to look for this type of doctor and need to ask this type of questions, so you get the answers you need to make your own decisions, okay? That one, like, as an auntie, I can tell you, okay? But yeah, but if you want me to be your doctor, that one, y'all have to wait until I get my license in France. Then you come to my clinic, then you come talk to me. Then it becomes patient-doctor relationship, then it's super confidential, and I won't show up like this lah. Okay? That's different, okay? So, but even then, probably don't tell me you saw me on my Twitch. But I don't know, because there's so many like doctor content creators who I admire. Now I'm sure like they go see them, and also like nurses. There are a lot of really good ones out there who do great information. Midwives and all that. So they also, some people are like, oh, she's my nurse, oh, I know her from social media. But of course, everyone, we know when to act professional lah. Okay, we're not idiots lah. Okay, like those who do the online stuff well and also have their professional work, like you know how to separate both. So obviously I'm not going to be like super auntie when I go to like the clinic and stuff or the hospital. Like I'm going to be actually like Dr. Lau, okay? Like, and yeah, I mean, again, use your brain, okay? People have different sides to them. Remember what I said to you. You can have two truths or more occurring at one time in your reality. You can have more than one feelings at the same time with equal amount of intensity, okay? It can happen. And also, I can have more than one dimension and aspect to me also at the same time, okay? But because I have critical thinking, because I have applied myself, I know which one to put forth in which situation, okay? There, another auntie rant for you. Go, have fun with that. All right, so learning French. I just want to see what I can do online that will help. So I need to work on my pronunciation because I just really have a lot of anxiety trying to speak it. And then I immediately tell myself that I suck and I can't do it. But I feel like a lot of the anxiety and worry is also very similar to my Mandarin because I was made fun of a lot for even attempting to speak it. And this is one thing I don't like a lot about Malaysian Chinese is that even my own family is like, oh my god, Crystal, you sound like an Ang Mo speaking Chinese or speaking Mandarin, you know. Oh my god, just stop, it hurts my ears. And I'm like, so how else you want me to learn? Correct or not? My parents don't speak it at home. Y'all don't want to speak with me because apparently I sound like an Ang Mo. Then where am I going to learn? You want me to go watch the dramas? They speak in some kind of flowery, whatever, sci-fi romantic way. How much more idiotic am I going to sound? Anyway, a rant for another day. So yeah, you know what? That's the part of my auntie side I want to bring out here online. Is that number one, to give less AF and just do it and don't care, people laugh or whatever, because end of the day, I'm the one benefiting to learn another language. Anyway, I need it. I need to get the certificate, okay? And at the same time, you know, I want all of you who have, I'm trying not to say bad words. I want all of you who have unhelpful, that's the nicest word I can find, unhelpful people like that who are currently active in your life or before have poisoned your brain with all these stupid words and stupid things and things to make you insecure. I hope this reverses all that crap for you, okay? Because as much as I can be very very auntie and maybe scold you, at the same time, you know, I do want you to have better in general, okay? So yeah, you know, take what you that have fun with that. Yeah, do what you will with that. Okay, now I think it's good. I have decided my lifetime main quest, I will deal with it another day. I think French, I just need to figure out. So this is something I need to go and do some research online. So maybe while I have you all here, I will just... you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ask my AI. Because Googling, yeah, it's really been a game changer with AI. Like I've seen how it's been used and all that, even how I'm interacting with it. I use AI a lot as a tool. I actually still do quite a bit of stuff by myself, and AI really just use it as a supplement only. I don't use it as like write my email, write my reply, or even write my post. I don't do that because I want to keep my creativity going and all that. But certain questions like asking it to crawl online to find some answers to my question, then I use AI for that. I think that's very useful. Okay. Let's see. So I want to know. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that I don't mind embarrassing myself. I'm gonna say I need to learn vocabulary and pronunciation. What can I screen share? I say when I'm thinking about crossword puzzles. But I'm not sure. One thing I'm honestly not sure about YouTube videos. Yeah. Let's see what the AI says. Getting really tired. I really need to rest. I'm probably just gonna watch a horror show after this. And then relax. Because my friend is here still. And we've been talking a lot of business stuff. I love talking business stuff. It's so fun. I really aim to be like super rich one day. And then like have my own version of a Shark Tank, but not like douchey like that. And I would love to have grants and scholarships and funds to give away. I want to be a patron, like back in the old days, right, of the rich folks, and you have this all over the world, you know. They are patrons of art, science, and all of that. I would love to be that. Like, I really want money to do. I really want to be rich, to eat good food, to, of course, solve problems. I mean, to be honest with you, money solves a lot of problems today. And I was just telling someone today that whoever told you money doesn't buy you happiness is a liar, just wants you to be left behind, or they don't want you to get out of the rut, okay? Money can buy you some happiness. And for some people, it can buy you a lot of happiness, okay? It can solve you a lot of problems. And sometimes that brings you the peace that you need, okay? So I just find that if you, but I'm not there yet, so I can't tell what I will be like once I get wealthy and super rich. But you know, when you are insecure in yourself and uncomfortable with yourself and you don't know yourself, then I think when you get things like power and money, then you don't know what to do with it, because you don't even know yourself. You don't even know your values, and you're not true to yourself in the first place. So of course, when you're given this stuff, you don't know what to do with it. You squander it all, just make poor decisions with it. Okay, so that's why it's important to do reviews and checks. And that's why, again, going back to the stuff that I'm doing on YouTube and my podcast, the new stuff, living with change. You will change, and it's important to at least, that's the thing, know yourself. And there is always like you that will be throughout all of these life changes and evolution of your lifetime. You know, sometimes your values might change as well, depending on what life event happened to you. Maybe something really traumatic happened to you. You know, and for me, last year was huge. But interestingly, it still didn't change a few values that I thought would change, but it didn't, which is great. And it's helped me feel at peace with myself a lot, and to help me feel less triggered by other people, so that, you know, and I think that's why I said I'm stepping into my auntie era. Okay, so anyways, let's see what the chat bot says, because I told it that embarrassing myself learning French, I'm willing to do that. Of course, it's an entertaining and relatable thing. Of course, just that I suspected, just like any intellectual property stuff, something that's free to watch doesn't mean that it's free to be rebroadcasted or restreamed or using, all of this thing because you're using other people's content, okay? So, they said Duolingo is great. Anki is a free open source flashcard app. Make your own French decks. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm probably going to use word reference online dictionary. I should prefer a book, but it's a bit heavy to lug around. And I want to share with you all what I'm learning too, so it's easier to just do it online. So I've used word reference before, and that's great. Yeah. So, this is interesting. They actually said that crossword puzzles websites, you need to check whether the terms of service you can use them or not. So, yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I should just go back to Duolingo again to do it. Right? I mean, and better than nothing to learn something. Let me just ask them to check. Okay. All right. Well, looks like CJU has finished. I finished that video. Almost time for me to leave. Another 15 more minutes. Let me see. Let me go to. Oops! You see, I did a mistake again. Now I starting to know that when okay, now I see the problem. Very interesting. Okay, I just need to be careful with kind of closing, opening things or something. Okay. Yeah, there is this online French newspaper. TV5, TV5 Monde says do not stream on Twitch, used for private viewing. Okay, but that's interesting though. Then people playing games, like all this. So I mean, it's good lah. At least. Oh, personal and private use. Okay. Now, I guess. Well, if y'all have any ideas. Ayo. It's very interesting. That's why I always say it's really worth it to check, about all of some of the legal stuff and all, because nowadays it's just way too easy to share, way too easy to stream, all for good reason. But end of the day, right, a lot of these platforms and stuff it's up to you, you know, as the user, the streamer, to do your homework and find out whether you can or cannot do it. And end of the day, you're the one who's gonna cop it, not them. Huh? So you have to be careful. Okay. That is very interesting. Okay lah. I guess I will use Duolingo and Twitch to find out how to do that. Okay, that is my main quest. At the same time, I also need to just start building up my French vocabulary for medical terms. So, oh yeah, figure something out lah. Let's just do it. Because why not? Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a day a bit earlier because j'ai fatigué, très fatigué. I am very tired. Aku sangat penat. Or if I want to be a bit more dramatic, I can say aku teramat penat. I'm very tired. 我好攰啊，真係好攰啊。And now I'm just showing off. 我很累啊。Does that sound alright in Mandarin? 中文、普通话、华文 whatever lah, okay? Chinoise. So many ways to say in Mandarin. At one point it was called people's own language in Malaysia. Which is funny, it's like people's own language. Like, what about Malay? You know, what about English? But anyways, I am tired and I wish you all have a lovely evening. I still need to figure out what this raid thing means. I have no clue. So bear with me, but it's okay lah. Practice makes better. Remember, not perfect. Practice makes better. So all of you, all of the things I said today, you know, y'all take care. Any questions or if something really struck you and you just want to debrief, please, you know, go find me on my socials, reach out to me there, or just reach out to me on my, what's the word? I can't even think about it now. Yeah. My Twitch, whatever social media accounts, y'all can message me there, okay? You know, just take care of yourselves, okay? Because as L'Oreal says, you are worth it. No, but really, okay? So until then, today is Wednesday. I will not be streaming again until Sunday night. So I will see all of you lovely nieces and nephews on Sunday evening Paris time, which will be 4 a.m. Malaysia, Singapore, Southeast Asia time. I think in the US, 9 p.m. is -6 hours depending where you are, 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. or 1 p.m. around the afternoon time, okay? All right then, I'll see y'all soon. Take care.